Bro, today I'm gonna teach you how to get out of a rut. So, wrong button. So, what's a rut? A rut, to me at least, is when you have a prolonged period of time when you don't stick to the schedule that you want to stick to. So, for example, this can mean you wake up and initially what you do is you'd always get up really early, you'd instantly go brush your teeth, you'd go shower, you'd have some breakfast, you'd work out, whatever that is for you. But over the last few days, so over the last 4 days, you wake up and you instantly check your phone and you spend 30 minutes scrolling. I would consider that a rut. You're going off your schedule and you feel really bad about that because then instead of it being 8 o'clock and you've already worked out, it's 9:30 and you've just woken up and you're just scrolling. So obviously for your mental health, this is very, very bad. Feeling unproductive as someone who has goals feels like you're making reverse progress. This is your life in the long term and you're going downwards. And this is a terrible thing because you look back, say over the last 4 days, even this can be 4 days or 4 years or 4 decades, and you think, I've really done nothing and I've even downgraded, right? So the way to improve this is by taking very, very, very small steps. So instead of you thinking, okay, I'm gonna go on my schedule, I'm gonna work out for an hour, I'm gonna work for 4 hours on my business, I'm gonna do my homework, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna wake up early. You can think all of that when you've just had an amazing day. You can think that about tomorrow because you've just had an amazing day, so it's very plausible that you do that. But say this is a diagram of the last week, right? If on average you've been operating here, in no way do you think, okay, yeah, I've been operating here and my schedule is here. So tomorrow I'm gonna make up for it, bro. Tomorrow I'm gonna operate up here. Tomorrow I'm gonna do 2 hours of working out. I'm gonna wake up, and from the moment I wake up, I'm just gonna work constantly. Everything is gonna be on point, dialed in, and I'm really gonna bring it back strong. Now you're really motivated, but you're gonna wake up tomorrow, and you're operating here right now, and now you have this challenge to overcome. Obviously, it's not gonna happen. So instead, and reference to that, when I say it's not going to happen, if you got annoyed by that and think it's not possible, well, over the last 4 days, you couldn't even do this. What makes you think tomorrow you can do all this? It's very, very unrealistic, and every day that you're not on this, you feel worse and worse. Say you have one bad day or one bad hour, okay, fine. A reference, let's even shrink this down to a day. Okay, you wake up, and the first 2 hours were not as productive as you normally are on your schedule, right? You can either think, okay, I'm just gonna take it slow, I'm gonna start up again, I'm gonna do my best and really try to get back on track. Or you're gonna think, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do all of this, I'm gonna instantly work for the next 20 hours, I'm not gonna sleep tonight, I'm just gonna drink a whole bunch of coffee. That's not gonna work well. Say it worked for 5 minutes, while you're making the coffee and while you're like, yeah, I'm so pumped, I'm gonna do this. But the task is becoming way too big for you to manage now. Right now, you're working at this level, at this capacity. Your schedule may be here, but you're not even reaching that. So, what do we need to do to make it realistic in a way that you will actually break out of the rut? So, we need to take periodic steps upwards. So, this is how it needs to be. So, you are operating on this level right now, your schedule is up here, and this is how we're going to reach it. We're not going to think, okay, I'm going to take step one and I'm going to break through my schedule, I'm going to make up for all the days I've lost and stuff like that, because that's not going to happen. I'm speaking from experience. Every single time when I don't work out for one day or I had a really bad workout, I think, yeah, tomorrow, tomorrow I'll work out for 3 hours, bro. Tomorrow, yeah, everything. I'm gonna work out like an Olympian tomorrow, bro. I'll wake up and nothing happens because I couldn't even do yesterday's task of, say, an hour workout. What makes it possible for me to now have the triple motivation, the triple skill, the triple discipline to accomplish that task? Obviously, it's not going to happen. I'll describe it to you like this. Imagine you haven't studied for 3 months and you do a practice test, and your practice test results are a lot lower than what they were 3 months ago when you were doing practice tests. Now, you can think, okay, I can either take it step by step and I can start relearning the content, or you'll think to yourself, nah bro, screw this, I'll just do 6 practice papers, not recap any of the content, and I'm sure if I just do more practice and more work, that the output's going to happen. Well, no, because if you're just pushing yourself up there, with the example of the exam papers, but you haven't taken the steps to slowly do this, slowly do this, slowly do this, well, then you're never going to improve back to this level. Your current skill level has simply declined. You were working up here, and now you're down here. Well, you can do as many days of this as you want, and you're not going to get up to this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to slowly increase, step by step. We're going to drop our ego, and we're going to take little steps towards our previous goal. Now this, I know you're not going to like, because I don't like doing this either. If one day I wake up and I have a really bad morning, I don't then want to think, okay, instead of doing a 12-set workout, I'll do a 1-set workout today. Your brain doesn't like that. I already know you're thinking, oh, what is this guy talking about? The moment that you drop your ego when it comes back to being productive again is the moment when you'll start making progress towards it. The moment when you'll be able to take that little step. Because when you still think your expectations and your skill is up here, you're never going to be able to take this little step. You're never going to be able to motivate yourself to just go, yeah, I'll do just this. No, you'll think, yeah, I want to do all of this. But that's not happening. You currently can't do that. And the worst thing of all is you're not going to do it because you haven't been doing it the last while, and it's just going to progress, and you'll be having the same conversation with yourself a week from now. So here's an action plan. Here's exactly how you're going to do it. So, step 1. Whatever your goal is you're going to do 1 second of it. Minimum. So say today you have to work out and you need to work on your business and you need to eat clean. Instead, you're going to eat 1 healthy thing, not 3 healthy meals. You can eat 1 piece of fruit. You can eat 1 steak. 2, you will do 1 push-up. 3, you will work for 1 minute. This seems stupidly ridiculous. Am I going to get any progress from 1 push-up? Well, no. But over the last 4 days, you haven't done any. So if today you do 1, that's progress. And as soon as you do 1, here's the magic of this. As soon as you drop your ego and realize, okay, I haven't done anything, I'll do a little bit more than yesterday. As soon as you have that achievement, that's going to give you all the motivation you need to actually go and do more. After you do 1 push-up, you think, nah, I'll do 20 push-ups. Now you've done the 20 push-ups, you'll think, you know what? Why don't I do 50? You'll do 50 and you think, you know what? I'm really doing good at this. I haven't worked out like this for 4 days now. I haven't done anything. Okay, maybe I'll do a full workout. Yeah, I'll get my dumbbells out. You do 1 or 2 sets, you really start working out at that point, and before you know it, you're having a full workout. You've done 3 sets. Now you're about to do another one. 30 minutes from now, you'll have done your 12 sets. You'll have done your workout. And think how amazing you feel after you do that. After you dropped your ego and realize, okay, this is too much for me. As of now, I can't do this right now. But if I start with a small step, it's going to give me the progress and the motivation needed to continue. You know what? At some point, you may not even get it. You will do 20 push-ups and you'll think, okay, that's enough for today. No, I don't have the motivation for more. That's okay. Well, tomorrow you can do 21. Do you see what I mean? You're not yet at the capacity where you can exert the same amount of work and output as you were before. If you were at the same level as before, you wouldn't be in a rut. So, this is all we're aiming for. Drop your ego as much as possible on what you're working on, and then just do that. You need to meditate today? Do 1 mindful breath. You need to gratitude journal? Write 1 point. I guarantee you, as soon as you write 1 point, you want to write more points. But this way is very free. You're not forcing yourself to do anything. You're not here trying to do this. You're not adding even more pressure to yourself. Because the moment where you're adding more and more pressure, is the moment where the task just becomes more and more difficult. You increase the distance between where you are now and where you need to be. And if you can't do this now, why would you do this? And this is almost a message to myself, because I realize that I'm saying this, but this process is very difficult. It's a very humbling process to think, okay, I need to do 12 sets. And instead of just getting annoyed and think, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And then you just don't end up doing it because it's too difficult. For your current self, not yourself 2 weeks ago. But when you do manage to drop your ego down is when you'll really see the results of this. So, what have we done so far? We've covered the fact that you can't add more stress to it. You need to drop your expectations massively. And now, what do we get from this? Okay, so you may get in a little spiral of motivation and you'll do good, but that's great. How do we consistently get out of this rut and stay out of the rut? Because I don't want you to do this. Jump up a little bit, oh, massive rut again. We don't want ups and downs with this. We want you to bounce back from your rut and stay up there and even improve over time. So the way we're going to do this is, as soon as you can go back to the level that you were working on before, that may take you a few days, it may take you a week, it may take you a month. Usually I find that the amount of time it took me to fall into it is the amount of time it takes me to get out of it. So as soon as you start, you have your first day again where you tick all the things off. You go and you do tick your workout, your work, clean your whole house, eating clean, going out, all those things is the moment where, firstly, I want you to feel really proud of yourself. Realize that you got out of a rut. Proud. It's a very difficult thing, right? You could have just stayed there. If you didn't drop your ego, you could have just stayed there for another week, for another month, and then your skill level, instead of staying like this, would have just kept going down and down and down and down, and make it even more difficult to bounce up. So, one, feel really proud of yourself. Two, now that you are back here, identify why this happened. So, think, why did I get in a rut in the first place? Okay, I had a bad morning, so then the work became too overbearing to do the rest of the day, so then I just did no work. And then I woke up really angry at yesterday at the fact that, oh, I didn't do any work, I'll really work hard today. And then it just kind of became a vicious cycle of, oh, I haven't done any work the last 3 days. Yet today, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. today and I'll work all day. Well, are you? So, instead, all I'm going to say is treat yourself with grace. Identify the things that have happened. And three, continue working. And if you ever do fall back in a rut, I don't want you to be operating at this level and then you fall and fall and fall and fall and fall and fall. I want you to be operating at this level and then you can have a little bump and then you notice it really quickly, you drop your ego, you're gracious to yourself and realize, okay, I can have a bad morning, that's okay. What's next in my schedule? Just take it from there, just one thing. Okay, I'll meditate for 3 minutes and then you very quickly bounce back. And this can be very, very impactful in mental health because the times when I'm in a rut, I know are the times when I feel the worst. Because if I'm doing no work while also increasing the pressure I have on myself, the amount of anxiety you get from this and the complete destruction of your motivation, it's a very bad combo as this is increasing and this is decreasing. Because at the end of it, you just feel really, really bad. You feel like you're not getting anywhere in life. You feel like you're not achieving your goals. And as someone who really, really, I look at my timetable over 100 times a day. I know my to-do list inside and out. I know every single thing I have to do. I check it off. I highlight it. Everything. I'm obsessed with it. It's how I live and it's how I want to live. When I have a really productive day is when I feel amazing. And I know for you it is as well, right? After you have a really good day, you may even tell your friends about it. It's that important to you. So if it does take you a little while, it takes you a week, it takes you a few days to get back to the level you're working on before, all you need to do is be gracious to yourself, understand that you can have bad periods, so then you can quickly recover from it. Because if you stay there, think, I'll do more, but not right now. In a few hours, yeah, I'm tired right now. You're never gonna get out of it. So that's all I want to leave you with today, and I really, really think this will help, because I know this really worked for me, and I know it works for every single other person I recommended it to, because us humans, we don't want to admit sometimes that we're not at the level where we were before, and that's really painful for your ego. And you can just realize that sometimes you may not have, this is the way I like to think about it, you may just not have your full capacity today. You may not have slept fully, okay, so you have a little bit lower capacity today. That's okay. What can I achieve in this capacity? What's the best thing I can do today? Take it a step at a time, drop your ego, be gracious to yourself, and before you know it, you'll be working back to the level you were before and even surpass it very quickly. So I really hope that helps, man. Much love.